Hey, it's Brock here from Rock Hill Farms, and I'm standing here in front of my garden, and if I didn't tell you, you probably wouldn't recognize that's a garden because it's grassed over, looks about like a yard. But I do have garden plants in here. I just didn't do a good job of prepping the garden so that it didn't weed over so quickly, and now I need to get in there and clean it up. And I'm hoping I can do that with my weed eater. This is a Stihl KM91. Very popular weed eater model. A lot of people have the FS91. The only difference between the FS91 and the KM91 is the K stands for Kombi System, which means I can take the weed eater head off and put this cultivator head on. So this is not designed to till a garden. You can't just start off with a yard and make it a garden with this attachment, but I'm hoping that this ground already being tilled, I can churn up the weeds and clean it up a little bit in between the plants. So basically, right here I have 2 rows, tomato plants and peppers. Then on the other side, I have watermelon plants that are going to be stretched out in this direction. So I just need to clean up around those, and then I can take the tiller on the tractor and do the majority of it. Once this is done with these plants, I'm going to have a full pumpkin patch right here. So I do want to continue to till it. So I've had this Kombi system for quite a while. I've used it with a pole saw, a hedge trimmer, an edger, and of course the string trimmers. But the cultivator is brand new. And even though this is, I would say, a commercial grade weed eater head, it might be a little bit on the small end for this attachment. And that's what we're going to find out. So let's get it put on. That only takes a second. You've got a handle right here. You just loosen the handle up and then your attachment slides out. Loosen that up. Take the weed eater off. Alright, then we just slide this into the weed eater. I think it's supposed to go in a little further. There we go. I had to rotate the head just a little bit to get this to drop the rest of the way down. It's got a red line right here that indicates how far the shaft is supposed to go into the main unit. Alright, tighten that down. I really like the Kombi system because I've got 2 power heads and a whole bunch of attachments, so it gives me versatility of what I want to do. I've already ran the weed eater before I started the video, got it warmed up, so that shouldn't be a problem. We should be able to get right into tilling. Alright, so we had a month or 2 of rain, just constant rain, and everything was too wet and you couldn't do anything. And now we've had maybe a week where it's been mostly hot and dry. So we have a top layer that's dry and cracking, but underneath it's still pretty wet. And on that side of the garden, it's almost still wet. But after I get this tilled, I think it should be a good consistency for that cultivator. After I get this cleaned up, I'm gonna mix up some Miracle-Gro and see if we can give these plants a little bit of a boost. These are the pepper plants and they really are pretty tiny. The tomato plants are a little bit bigger. So, all right, I'll fire this thing up. Alright, so wherever the cultivator head was spinning, it kind of dug out and threw the dirt behind it. That's just the nature of it. So I do need to rake this up a little bit by hand and smooth it back out. Then I'll give you my thoughts overall on that product and what uses it really has that are going to be the most effective. Alright, so my final thoughts on the cultivator for the Kombi system is it did what it was designed to do. I only had 22 plants here and I just wanted to get in between them and right next to them. If you wanted to till a big area, this isn't the tool for you. But if you just want a way to get in between your plants and do the weeding, it'll do the job. Essentially, this is going to replace using a hoe. And I found it comfortable and easy to use because I didn't have to support the weight of the unit. I was able to just set the head on the ground and let it run. And once it got dug in enough, I just backed up and then I would turn it at a different angle so it would cross hatch and break the dirt up better. And I found it to be helpful, and it was definitely less work than doing the same thing with a hoe. So now I'm gonna go get some Miracle-Gro put on here and call it a day on this project, but I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. Just a minute, you'll see links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.